European games. Just perfect picture is set for us here tonight.
Taking a quick look right now, of course, the Tall Blacks out of New Zealand looking to punch their ticket to the next round as we see excitement, energy, all sorts of things. This is a dangerous, dangerous team, Mark, with nothing to lose.
And that's the key. They have nothing to lose. They've been the underdogs pretty much in every game that they've played, and they love it. If you want another underdog stat for you, they've only won 4 out of their last 16 Euro team games in the World Cup. So every time they face a European team, they're massive outsiders. Do you think that bothers these guys? Not one bit. If anything, they love it.
Absolutely, and you can see them getting hype in the warm-ups, a couple of self-alley-oop dunks, entertaining the Chinese fans here in attendance. And of course, as you saw earlier, the loud and proud Tall Blacks faithful are there in support. As we also get ourselves ready, though. They've got a tall task in what was considered one of the major favorites going into this competition, Greece.
Yeah, and rightfully so. You look at the talent, you know, obviously everyone's looking at Giannis Antetokounmpo, but 1 through 12, there is huge talent and huge experience in this Greek squad. You know, and it shows. They only ran a 9-man rotation against Brazil in that loss, and they're a little bit shell-shocked from that, and that might be the chink in the armour that New Zealand need to go after.
I think the number one question everyone can ask going into this game, can Giannis Antetokounmpo stay out of foul trouble, having a bunch of issues there in that first half and inevitably fouling out of that huge game against Brazil?
Yeah, he's not had it his own way at all, and we spoke before the game started, and I said to you, he's got a different face on today. They also took a lot longer coming out to warm up. I think he's ready to go.
It's going to be, as you can see, the Greek fans in attendance. They're excited for what's about to happen. Taking a look here at a schedule earlier today, Brazil moving on 3-0 with a win over Montenegro. As we get a quick look at the table as well, Brazil, of course, as we said, 3-0, 6 points. Winner of this game, simply put, is going to be moving on to the next round. As we get a chance here as both teams are pulling out their flags now. A lot of the fans getting themselves ready to stand up as we will get an opportunity to pause for the national anthem.
And now, please remain standing for the national anthem of Greece. 请保持肃立，升希腊国旗，奏唱希腊国歌。
Of course, this now brings us as both teams exchanging gifts and pleasantries before this matchup. Brings us to maybe my favorite part of the entire game as we take a quick look at our referees. Jorge Vasquez, Leandro Nicolas Lescano, and Inte Juan are going to be your referees for this matchup. But Mark, it's time for my favorite part of this whole World Cup, the Haka.
Absolutely wonderful. There is nothing better than a Haka to set the scene for an international game of basketball.
Love it, love it. And for some of us, for some of the people at home that may not necessarily know the story, may not have heard the story you told briefly in that first game, maybe you can enlighten them a little bit about that one.
Yeah, it's just great. About 13 years ago, the Tall Blacks decided they wanted to break away from the traditional Haka that the rugby team do, so they created their own, and they call it Tukaha, which equals stand strong. And it's all about basically how they're much stronger together than they would be on their own. And it's great because it fully epitomizes how they approach a game of basketball. I have never seen more of a team ethic in international basketball than New Zealand.
Absolutely, as you just got an opportunity to see the starting lineup there. Of course, this is going to be a guy that is going to be a huge factor in this game with the size of Greece in the front court. That, of course, is Isaac Fatu.
Yeah, Isaac Fatu is, he's had some big games. Game 1, 17 points, 5 boards. Game 2, 20.7 rebounds. And he just puts absolutely everything onto the hardwood for his teammates.
Absolutely. As we take a look here quickly at Greece's starting lineup, we have Kalatis, Papanikolaou, Papapetro, of course, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Printesses. A very formidable starting lineup here for Greece.
Yeah, absolutely storied. So many international caps, so much experience along the world's top leagues, and yeah, it's scary for everyone to look at. And that man, he really led the way in what was a disappointing night in the end for the Greeks against Brazil, but averaging 18 points a game, 86% from outside is unbelievable for what is effectively a power forward in essence to be able to do that. And I think they're going to need a big game from him tonight to come away with a win.
Absolutely, couldn't agree even more. So we got to take a look. It's almost a near capacity crowd here in Nanjing.
Yeah, the World Cup has been embraced fully by this city. Every evening they've turned out in their thousands to come and watch these games.
I get the 5 and hit tap long. All right. Dribble hand up with Robbie. All right. Tommy, you're coming up. Bang. Ike, you're in this one here. And let's dribble hand up with Corey. All right. Bang, coming off that one. I think that was Yanni without me. Out. So you have the spots in that attack. Nick back and tap. Yanni started the place. Okay. After that, firm side. Oh yeah, now you start from Yanni's side. We close. Back up. Or 1-1 situation. Where we have the 1-1.
Taking a look at both coaching staffs there, both head coaches, no strangers to the international game, Mark.
No, absolutely not. You know, they've got a huge amount of experience from very different places, though. You know, Paul Hanare, obviously an awful lot of down-under experience in New Zealand. He's been the head coach of the senior men's team since 2015. Also a huge amount of experience as a player, whereas you look at Skortopoulos, he played 9 years for AEK Athens. He's been part of the assistant coaching staff for Greece, and now he's made that step up to be head coach. Very different styles, but very, very effective in their own right.
Absolutely, and I think just number one thing to keep in mind here, winner goes on, loser effectively out of the tournament.
Yeah, loser has the classification to play for. Still huge amount to play for because you've got the chance of qualifying for the Olympics at stake, but still, everyone wants to stay in this party. No one wants to leave early from this one.
And here we go. Greece wins the tip-off, and it's going to be Nick Kalathis that's going to begin the offensive set for Greece. Gets it right over to Manzaras, who gets it inside. Grabs his own rebound. And there's going to be a foul called on Tom Abercrombie, not the way he was hoping to start this game.
I think it might have been called on Futu, actually. Let's have a look. They've called a push on him. Yeah, he's on the back of him. That's what they've called him for. The strip was actually clean. If he hadn't come across, I think Abercrombie would have got the clean steal.
An even tougher foul in that case, considering Futu how important he's been for this New Zealand squad throughout the opening round. Papa Nicolau, good for his first, already on the stat sheet with a rebound and a point.
Yeah, it's a good start for him, and he's one of these players that's got, you know, a bit of NBA experience, a huge amount of European experience, and willing to do everything his team needs him to do, and they're going to need that tonight.
Kostas Papanikolaou at the line, knocks down both. 2-0 lead for Greece in the early going. And here comes Ty Webster. Along with his brother Corey Webster, have been offensive juggernauts for this New Zealand squad. Off to his brother Corey. Here's Ty. There's a work inside now. Futu, hook shot. Kareem-esque, Elijah-esque, whatever you want to call it. He's got it right now.
And he's had a phenomenal tournament so far, and he won't want it to come to an end because he's certainly playing at the top of his game at the moment.
Here's Kalathis. Works off the screen from Giannis. Going to try and go up himself, but they're going to call a foul there as he went in. And it seems in the early going, the physicality of New Zealand seems to be working just a little bit against them.
Yeah, a little bit too much, and that's going to be, I think, is that Futu's second foul? Oh no, that one's called on Webster. He's
good call,
fortunate.
Yeah, clearly on his wrist. He hacked Kalathis going in. No look pass inside, but unfortunately not even Papa Petro saw it. But gets it back. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Still an option. In the corner, Kalathis, 3 seconds. He's got to put it up. Oh, gets it off in time. And Giannis is under the basket and fighting for it is Tom Abercrombie, and the bench is loving that one. Here comes Abercrombie on the other end. Just can't get it to drop. A tough tournament for him so far.
And that came down to purely Abercrombie wanting it more.
Giannis up and in! Giannis Antetokounmpo with the response!
And you see what that means to him. He's had a tough week so far. It's not gone his way. But that dunk means everything to him. He's going to take his frustrations out on that ring tonight.
Inside Printessis, what a nifty finish with the left hand, and what a pass.
And Greece already starting to get their rhythm, starting to get their form, and the crowd are loving it.
Webster, floater, up, in. Corey Webster. Could you expect anything less at this point from him?
No, absolutely not. Averaging 22 points a game. He's been on fire so far. Second in the tournament for points per game.
Here we are. Kalathis to Giannis. Antetokounmpo's going to let it fly. Futu comes in, knocks it down. Giannis Antetokounmpo. What a start.
I told you. His face was different. His mentality was different today. Look at the almost growl on his face.
Low. Loses a hand on it. Coughs it up, and here comes Greece. Kalathis gets it. Bounce pass in to Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Are you kidding me?
Play.
Oh, Antetokounmpo got game, that's for sure. He is up for tonight's game. Look at that thunder jam. And the crowd are loving it. The noise is the loudest it's been this week.
Timeout New Zealand. Let's see if Coach Paul Inari can come up with something.
Yeah. 7:42. 7:42 is the time. 7:42. Yes.
7:42. Just a reminder about how important our wall is. All right? We've got to turn back. We've got to get back. We just got to keep them in front. All right? Against switches. Face up. All right? It gets on the high side. We should know what's coming. Turn it face up. Otherwise, we could look to go through some zones when we get those switches. All right? Take a breath right now. Everyone good? Get back to what we know. The one shot they've had right now that we live with, it's the 3-ball. All right? Everything else has been downhill. Build a wall. Have each other's back. All right? Lift up our physicality a notch right now. We're good? Come on, boys. Let's go. Floppy punch.
And Antetokounmpo has had exactly the start to the game that he all wanted. A tough first 2 games, but he's put both those to bed. That was the first of his jams, and you saw almost the release as he did it of all that frustration that he's felt over this week. And he has a very different look on his face. He wants to come and dominate.
He's cane focused. Look at that growl. He's ready to go right now, and you could see that spin move he had on Webster. Not many other people in the world can maintain possession of the ball with a spin like that. And then, of course, the dunk out of nowhere from the dotted line out of he's the only person in the planet that can make that move. Here's Webster for 3. Corey Webster.
And this is exactly what Coach Henare was talking about. He was saying, don't get caught up in the hype of all these dunks and the crowd. He said, as long as we get our points back, then it's fine. We just have to work harder on transition defense.
I'm saying this right now. Corey Webster might be playing his way into a 10-day contract at some point later on this season.
He's certainly looking good, that's for sure.
Here's Printesses. Off the behind the back, up, in, can't get the kind roll, and it's going to go out of bounds, and Lowe did just enough to box out his opponent, and it's going to be New Zealand ball. Just enough that as soon as Coach Henare said we need to step up our physicality, there's Rob Lowe answering the call.
Straight away, and every single player will do the same for him. That's not something New Zealand are going to lack, physicality.
Sorry. Inside for 2. Kicks it back out. Abercrombie now with it. In the corner. Inside for 2. Gets the mismatch up and in. Oh, what a nice little scoop up and under there.
A wonderful play by Futu. He's trying to match what Antetokounmpo is doing for Greece. He knows he's not going to be high flying, but he's not going to be outdone for effort.
It's going to be an off-ball foul on the ground. And that's another one on Futu, I believe. That's his second personal. That is not the start he wanted. Offensively, it's been great, but just these little off-ball fouls, you want to save those kind of fouls for when Giannis actually has the ball as he now takes a seat.
Because the issue you have is who has the ability and the physicality to guard Antetokounmpo. They've now put the young man Finn Delaney. He's only 24 years old. He's massively undersized against Antetokounmpo.
Corner look. Good closeout though by Delaney. Good defense by New Zealand, and it's going to get the possession for their efforts.
Yeah, and then this is going to be the key. Whether they can keep this intensity on the defensive end up for 40 minutes. 1, have they got the fouls to give? Can they keep personnel into the game? And 2, do they have the energy? You know, this is game 3 of 3 games in like 6 days. That's starting to take its toll on some of these players.
Corey Webster for 3. Again, Corey Webster.
He has been lights out all week. It's literally like he zoned in the second he stepped on the hardwood about a week ago.
Greece needs to find a way to chase him away from the top of the key because that is his shot. That's been his shot all week. Here's Printesses. Another foul on the inside. And that's the 3rd consecutive set there where somebody in the post has been fouled by a New Zealand defender. There it is.
How else do you stop him? If you're Finn Delaney, how do you stop Antetokounmpo? You're giving up 10 centimetres on your man. And I'd hate to think how many kilograms you're giving up on him as well.
You got to thrive on it, though. Amazing to think they're the same age.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Here's the inbound for Greece. Kalathis off the screen. Kicks it out. Open look. No good. Kalathis coming down with it, though. Lowe didn't box him out. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Printesses. Shea Illy outmatched, but stays with him. Another fine. Kalathis for 3. No good. And New Zealand, after that thunderous opening from Greece, are now in the lead and almost, dare I say, in the driver's seat right now.
Yeah, they are. They've got issues defensively. What I'm liking that Paul Henare has done, he said, stay true, don't switch on the defensive end. Fight over screens, battle through them. That's going to be important. It's when they switch, they'll have problems.
Cut inside, and there's going to be a foul on the ground. And unfortunately, Tom Abercrombie, he just can't buy a bucket in this tournament.
No, it's not gone his way on the
even when it goes
side
this way.
Yeah, only 4.5 points per game. He averaged over 13 points per game in the qualifiers. But the good thing you've got is he's mature enough. He understands that there's other things that he can contribute to the team, and he has been.
Here's Illy. Webster. Delaney. Delaney's going to try the shot. Tough shot for him, especially going against the strong side. Giannis, fast break. Nope, he's going to reset it now with Delaney on him. Kicks it out. Here's Giannis. Kicks it off into the corner. One more time, Printesses for three, wide open. Just rims out. Only his second miss from behind the arc all tournament.
Yeah, that's a crazy stat, but Printesses says that, yeah, he's found his form shooting-wise here. I love the pass out from Papanicolaou, though. Drove inside as the New Zealand defense was breaking down, so it collapsed on him, and straight away, heads-up play, finds the corner triple from Printesses, and he's unlucky for it not to drop.
And New Zealand already in the penalty with Greece just 2 team fouls.
I don't think that's overly going to be a concern. Don't get me wrong, it is a bit of a problem as Greece are the best free throw shooting team in the World Cup at the moment. 89.5% from the line. That's, you know, that's impressive.
Another foul. I believe it's on Papanicolaou.
No, I think there's something going on with his uniform or a blood situation. Yeah, I think he's bleeding from somewhere.
And they're going to need a substitution. And into the game is number 10, Kostas Lucas. I believe that's his first appearance in the game right now.
Yeah, it is, and what a game he had off the bench in game day 2 against Brazil. First player since the 2010 World Cup to register 10 assists coming off the bench. Phenomenal.
Webster. Illy drives by. Going to try and go up and in himself. High off the glass, Shea Illy going right at the MVP.
And that shows the New Zealand mentality. They do not care who you are. They are going to go at you full pace.
Giannis with Delaney on him. Slukas. 11 seconds on the shot clock. Still plenty of time. No look pass. Printesses kicks it out. Kalathis going to go in himself. And they're going to say it's a foul, I believe, on Illy. Look at this, just up and in, fearless. Someone's been watching the tape.
But that's absolutely wonderful. It's perfect control. He's got body control. He's drawn enough contact to just leverage Antetokounmpo out of the way. And then the beautiful soft arc on the shot.
And I'll say this right now, Coach Thanasis Skortopoulos, you can be frustrated, but I mean, Giannis, to his credit, did everything he could have done there.
That's perfect defense. That's perfect defense. Just sometimes someone manages to pull off a great shot, you know? You don't ask any more defensively than that.
It's Kalathis from the line now.
Particularly for
This is
Antetokounmpo,
both free throws.
who's had foul trouble.
Illy loves to run. Abercrombie for three. No good. Tough shot there. But New Zealand, that's their style. They love to run and gun. And Antetokounmpo now with it. Kicks it off. Giannis gets it back. Tries to cross over. Back out one more time. Shot goes up. Knocks it down. Nothing but net. Giannis Papapetro.
And that's a heads-up play, you know. Giannis Antetokounmpo knows that the whole of the paint is going to collapse defensively.
Webster again. Even when he misses, it looks beautiful. Slukas inside. Giannis up and in. The foul. And Giannis Antetokounmpo going to the line for Greece.
Yeah, Smith-Milner just a split second too late. I can see what he was trying to do. He was trying to get himself planted. He got his feet outside the restricted area as well, which is impressive to do, but he was still moving sideways as Antetokounmpo plows into him.
You can see. I have to say, though, it really looks like New Zealand are really embracing this moment.
Yeah, fully. You know, New Zealand is a culture within all the sports that they play. They love the big challenges. They'd rather play tough games every day than have the easy ones.
I've counted about 3 separate players with big smiles on their faces as they were lining up for the free throws. And they are just absolutely loving this. They know that this could be a once-in-a-lifetime game for themselves.
Win this, and they go through to the second round of the World Cup.
Giannis is good. Gives Greece the lead again. 15-14, 3:24 to go here in the first quarter. So we take a quick look there at Abercrombie and Webster. We're going to need some big games from them if you're New Zealand. the MVP, NBA's most valuable player, the Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis Antetokounmpo, makes good on the second free throw.
Yeah, he's up to 9 points with 6.5 minutes into the game. He's only averaging 11.5 points a game across the first two, so you can see he's in a very different place today.
Here's Illy. Rusbach. Rusbach kicks it out. Delaney, he's going to let it fly. That's a tough shot there. Great closeout by the Greek defense. And here's a fast break. Sloukas into Giannis. Kicks it back out. Papapetro for three. Doesn't get the kind roll. Great box out there by Smith-Milner.
Yeah, boxing two players out.
There's a steal. Giannis up and in, finds it inside. And they're going to call the foul. And Smith-Milner just putting his hands up going, I can't do anything else. I couldn't even get out of the way in time.
Yeah, it's tough, and it's a great steal by Giannis Antetokounmpo, and he's just put his head down and gone for it. And it is what it is on the defensive end. You're not going to give up a dunk, that's for sure. So
yes.
You're going to end up fouling him, you know. And the issue for New Zealand is not the fouls; it's managing them across their rotations.
Yes.
That's going to be the key, making sure that the people giving up the fouls are being rotated constantly.
As Giannis now getting another opportunity to go to the line. He's in 7 minutes, 9 points. Make it 10. 3-point lead now for Greece. But if you're New Zealand, 2:51 to go in the first, especially after that start, you got to be pretty comfortable with where you're at.
The other thing you've got to be looking at as well is the way that the Greeks played against Montenegro. You probably would have expected a similar sort of treatment. Bear in mind that the Greeks kept Montenegro to 16 points in the entire first half, and New Zealand were almost at that within 7 minutes.
Illy brings it up. Webster for three. Banks it! Yes, the bank is open and Ty Webster's got game.
Wow, I didn't hear the shout of bank from him, so I'm presuming that's just a bit of luck going his way. But if you're New Zealand in a game like this, you'll take all the luck you can get.
Kalathis, oh, no look inside to Thanasis. Antetokounmpo, shot goes up, nothing but net. That's once again Ioannis Papapetro.
Wonderful play by Thanasis there, so unselfish. You know, he was under the basket, could have probably just taken a little drop step and thrown it down, but he's seen Papapetro open. And yeah, set his man up for another three. Look at this, wonderful, just such unselfish play.
I'm loving the little ball fake at first to get the defense to shift in the wrong direction. As you can see, by the time Rusbach had responded, there was no way he was getting there.
There was no chance he was going to be able to cover that shot. So yeah, great play by Thanasis Antetokounmpo.
As Giannis takes his first rest. And I think he's so far delivered for this Greek team and also for the fans here in Nanjing.
Oh yeah, if you've got tickets to this game, this is your best by far.
Fast break opportunity, Kalathis not taking any chances. Finishes the layup on a poor set there by New Zealand. And
New Zealand need to be careful now. We're at 6 points. If it opens up much more, they're going to struggle to fight back in again.
Thanasis up and in. The older brother showing he can get it done as well. Illy in the corner, low. Oh, nice ball fake there. Just can't get it to drop, and Kalathis with another rebound. Rob Lowe trying to make up. And this time Illy sees it, and Lowe gets it over Webster.
Smart play by Ty Webster, just slowing it down, taking some of the energy out of the game.
Inside, Lowe, up, in, hacked hard. But you gotta love that if you're New Zealand. You want to see that competitive fire all the way through.
That's great. That's a great from both sides. That's great. Thanasis Antetokounmpo, he's done the right thing. He's gone up. He's fouled hard. As we see Kalathis with the steal and the easy layup in transition. New Zealand can't afford those mistakes too often because Greece will punish you absolutely every time.
Unfortunately, Rob Lowe, a couple of rough possessions there for him, but you know, to his credit, when we saw that first replay at the very beginning, he knew Thanasis was coming in hard, and if he had kept it to that left side, he would have gotten stuffed, but had the wherewithal in midair to switch over and try and go to the right, and as a result, gets hacked hard. And we also got some substitutions for Greece. Rob Lowe gets his own rebound. Rusbach, step back. No good, but Lowe comes down with it, and they're going to call a foul on Ioannis Barousis, who's checked into the game for Greece. And also into the game is number 5, Gianoulis Larenzakis.
And these might be some of the key moments in the game for New Zealand as well. How do they capitalise when Giannis Antetokounmpo is out of the game and getting rest, because he's going to have to. He won't want to play more than 25 minutes in a first round game.
Tough miss there for Rob Lowe.
This is really surprising. Lowe shot 83% from the free throw line prior to today's game, and that's 0 from 3.
And of course, you know, 125 to go here in the first. You need these points when the clock's not running. This is another one. This is just not his game right now. This is a first quarter for him to forget.
And that kind of form is contagious in your own mind. You'll start doubting yourself every free throw that goes by that you don't score.
They can't afford that from him. They need him. Slukas. Oh, nice find inside, but once again, that defense, Shea Ili, he's done a great job reading these passes that are coming in from Kalathis and from the other guards in Greece.
It's a really interesting setup here. Having Shea Ili on the baseline, obviously you're thinking, well, he's going to be undersized, he's going to struggle. But the quick hands and the quick feet make up for that. He can intercept and he can get in passing lanes.
Plus, I don't think he feels pain.
No, I think he's probably bionic.
Yeah. Here's Webster. Oh, nice steal there by Barasas. Below comes up with it, and Webster all the way up and in, and the crowd getting behind this New Zealand Tall Blacks.
Well, I think they're appreciating the amount of hustle and effort that these guys are putting onto the floor in this first quarter.
Kalathis now guarded by Webster. This could be a key matchup for Greece. Slukas. Barosas. Laurenzakis. Thanasis up, in, can't finish. Gets his own rebound, however. Kicks it out to Kalathis. Slukas thinks about it. He's got Low on him. Shoots it. Knocks it down. Slukas.
There was only ever one thing going to happen in that play. Slukas had no intention of trying to get into the paint. He was just going to try and create enough distance, enough space for him to get that three away.
Got a full court press now on for Greece. They're going to see if they can try and pressure New Zealand. 8 seconds remaining in the quarter. We'll see what they come up with here. Ili loses it again. 1 second. Laurenzakis, no.
And breathe. Unbelievable first quarter. Wonderful.
Incredible. Greece 28, New Zealand 19.
First quarters of basketball don't get much more exciting than that. 9-point lead for Greece, probably quite flattering to a certain degree. New Zealand have worked exceptionally hard to fight and literally fight their way back into this game. One issue they do have there is that with that man there, Fotu, he has 2 fouls and he's obviously a bit of an inspirational leader for the Tall Blacks. They want to see him back in the game, but the highlight reel of Giannis Antetokounmpo has not disappointed. He's taken his frustrations out from the first 2 games in this first quarter.
You can see his big brother Thanasis. He's been one of the most animated players on any bench for any team here in Nanjing.
He completely encapsulates what playing for your country means. You know, we watched the lineup for the national anthems, and Thanasis is properly singing the national anthem, and behind him Giannis had his eyes closed and was singing along as well. It means so much for these guys. If they were to take Greece to a podium finish here in China, it would be one of the highlights of their careers.
As you can see there, Greece, big reason that they have this 9-point lead, taking advantage of New Zealand mistakes, and for all of New Zealand's effort and time that they've had a chance, to really hang with Greece in this one, it's really been themselves that they've been beating, surprisingly.
Yeah, 5 turnovers in the first quarter. Most coaches will not want to get to double digits for the entire game. It's looking like New Zealand might be there by half-time. They need to respect the ball. They need to treasure that possession more than they have so far.
And as you can see, Thanasis is starting off this third quarter, but always be sure to check out the official World Cup app. Available stats, live games. It's been the way that I've kept up to date with everything moving forward, and you can find it on the App Store or on Google Play. Getting back to the action now, Ty Webster getting the start over in Slukas. The Webster brothers back together again, and Corey Webster, he's been unconscious. Looking for an option, kicks it out. Kicks it over, Webster for 3. Just misses, but Pleasure coming down with it. Webster gonna work off the screen. 8 seconds on the shot clock. To his brother Ty. Ty gets it inside. Pledger, huge rejection by Thanasis Antetokounmpo.
Wonderful play, wonderful read. The anticipation by Antetokounmpo to get up and just slap it off the glass.
Slukas. Kostas Slukas gets it over. This is Giannoulis Lorentzakis. Barousis now in the post. See if he can get going. Oh, opportunity here by Webster. He's off and running, up and in, and finishes Corey Webster.
Yeah, he's up to double digits now. That's him on 10 points, and you have a feeling he's in for another big night.
2-0 run for New Zealand. Barousis, wide open three. You do not want to give that to him if you're Alex Pledger.
It is a tough assignment for Pledger. He's not comfortable coming that far away from the basket, but Barousis will make you pay if you don't front him on the three.
Webster, he's going to let it fly. No good. Great closeout by Thanasis, just getting there in time. And it's always about that peripheral vision. It's a tougher shot for shooters when they have a guy closing in from the angle. Here comes Greece. Slukas. What a shot.
That's absolutely beautiful. It really is. It was almost like a dance that he was doing, just jigging to get enough space to get the release away.
Make no mistake, New Zealand is getting Greece's best shot right now in this second quarter. Here's Ty Webster to Alex Pledger. Corey Webster now with Barousis on him. We'll see if he takes him on. Oh, loses him. Shot goes up. Can't get the kind roll. Just out of bounds. And Corey Webster putting Barousis on ice skates.
Yeah, I think Barousis' advanced years showed on that play. Oh, look at Abercrombie trying to go through and finish the putback, but he's worked hard enough to keep his team possession. But yeah, Barousis, he is very much like Pledger in the last play. That's the last place he wants to be. He does not want to be facing Corey Webster on the perimeter.
Back into the game, of course, is the big man, Isaac Fatou. Here's Ty with Slukas on him. Ty finds it inside. Fatou right away goes in. Look at that. He wants to get involved right away.
And he's done it for the whole group stage. He really has. He's imposed himself beautifully on the game for New Zealand and made a big impact.
Slukas goes up and throws it down. Thanasis Antetokounmpo showing little brother he can do it too.
Absolutely he can. The ups that man's got's unbelievable.
Oh, nearly a stop there, but Webster still with it. Thanasis all over him. Ty gets inside. Fatou flings it over. Abercrombie for three. Big shot for him, and an even bigger shot for the Tall Blacks.
And this is what it comes down to. Winner goes through, loser is out. And that's why we've got this game in front of us. So much motivation, so much at stake for these teams.
Lorentzakis. Barousis wants it. Works around off the screen. Slukas gonna try and find a man inside, but there was no one there in the corner for him. Ran out of daylight, and New Zealand, with 7 seconds on the shot clock, a chance here. Oh, look at this. Just beautiful.
Wonderful timing. And again, this is how Slukas got to 10 assists in game day 2. You know, those kind of passes just to perfection. It makes it a lot easier when you've got a guy who can jump out of the gym, don't get me wrong, but still, wonderful pass.
Recently signed with the Milwaukee Bucks is Thanasis Antetokounmpo. Up and under, right on cue. That's why he's going to the NBA this year.
Absolutely wonderful. Really showing a range of ability now.
Here's Lowe. Abercrombie. Abercrombie puts it right up. No good. Tough shot for him.
Yeah, he's still trying to find his rhythm, trying to find some kind of momentum in the game. He's had a tough first 2 games, and hitting that 3, I'm sure he was hoping that it would start things rolling.
Here's Slukas with Ty Webster guarding him. Barousis once again wide open, but a great closeout this time by Lowe. Keeps running the floor, up, in. Textbook finish there by Rob Lowe, and that is New Zealand basketball at its finest.
It is, and Barousis fell asleep, and he knew that split second was just enough to let Lowe go away, and Barousis needs to stay awake. He needs to make sure he's an effort in transition defense.
Slukas nearly got away with a carry there, finds it inside. Oh, behind the back by Thanasis. Papanikolaou for 3, no good. And Fatou with a big rebound for New Zealand. Webster tries to go behind the back, gets it to Fatou. This is Corey Webster now. Fatou looking around. Webster, oh, nice jump up, and big shot for New Zealand. Corey Webster, ladies and gentlemen, He's got game.
Hey, you talked about a 10-day contract. There's going to be teams in Europe looking at Corey Webster. They're going to be taking several looks at him now. He is increasing his contract value with every basket he makes here at the World Cup.
And a big-time bucket there, as you can see here on the fast break opportunity. Rob Lowe, as soon as he challenged the shot, kept on running, understood his team's mentality. And then Webster, look at that. Gets the Milwaukee Buck off his feet. And even you could see Thanasis knew.
And the great play there from Lowe, it's having the IQ. When do I cheat on defense and when do I stay true? Perfect time to cheat on defense.
Το παίξεις καλά. Άκουσέ με. Από το 3 side έχεις φλερ για το Γιάννη. Το δεύτερο option, αν δεν είσαι καθαρός, δίνεις την μπάλα στο Γιάννη και πες ματάκα είσαι ο ένας-ένας. Εντάξει. Ένα αυτό. Και τον Αμπερκόπη μπορούμε να αποστάρεις. Πέντε side. Μένουμε λίγο με την μπάλα μέσα.
Yeah, and Slukas once again is instrumental in everything that he does for Greece. Pulling up for the three. Look at his heads-up play as well. He plays the whole game with his eyes up. He's looking at the basket. He's looking at all 4 of his teammates and what they're up to. And you can almost see the supercomputer in his brain doing the calculations. Is it best for me to shoot? Have I got an option on the pass? Who's going to get the highest percentage shot? Absolute mastermind of the game.
He's filled up every stat on the sheet here except personal fouls. As Giannis back into the game now. Laurentzakis to Slukas. Slukas. 8 seconds, finds it out. Great ball movement there from the Greeks. What a shot. What a shot.
And this is a big problem for New Zealand, because the 5 that Greece are running at the moment can play 5 out. And New Zealand can't play a rotation that can play 5 out if they want to defend Giannis Antetokounmpo in the post. And that's their quandary. What do? Do they try and guard the perimeter and give up the interior? Probably not. They'll give up those long shots.
I think I have it figured out, Mark. They survive. Just try and survive, but for 2.
He lost
Third
his
personal
patience.
foul.
He lost his patience. His mind just went there. Watch this. I don't know what he's done that for. That's the kind of mistake you'd expect from a young player, someone with not a huge amount of experience. Don't get me wrong, Futu's only 25, but he has a huge amount of experience, and you know, you thought he'd be more level-headed than that.
Emotions running high for New Zealand, as this could be one of the biggest games for a lot of these players' lives up until this point. Giannis now on the inside with Delaney all over him. Good job isolating them, though. Nice find inside, and that's it right there. Number 15, Yorgos Printessis, crashing in, and there's going to be a foul on Papanikolaou.
That's a smart foul. He's broken the transition. He's broken the forward momentum for New Zealand. But the issue New Zealand have on that double team now is that's all Antetokounmpo's waiting for. He's waiting for the double team, as we see Papanikolaou with the obvious foul. But he's waiting for that double team in the low block. As soon as it comes across, there's so much space for the shooters to get the shots away.
Timeout, New Zealand. Let's take a look at what Coach Pollinare has got drawn up for his team.
He was high post, he just came down the middle. We were too spread. I think by the weak side.
Shoot around, guards. You have to get a bump first and slow him down.
Hey! Horns! With this lineup, we go yellow. Just got to hear weak strong. Force it to the 4. Alright, force it to the 4. And there's those. Shrink the area. Shrink the area. No cutters through the lane. Challenge 3 ball late. Good. Ball's here. 4 man's here. We jump that side. We're in our 2-3. Alright, we're good here. Alright. Horns up, wheel.
And it's a big, big day. We talk about how big it is for the players, but for the coaching staff, particularly Coach Henare, how much would that be a feather in his cap if he was able to mastermind a New Zealand win over Greece, and not just any old time, but in a do-or-die game in the World Cup. Absolutely huge for him as a head coach.
New Zealand hanging in there in this second quarter. Greece I've only outscored them 14-12. And really, I think if you're New Zealand, that's all you really want by the end of this quarter is to still be in this game. Single digits, I think, would be most preferred.
Yeah, I think if they can be around where they are now, they're not going to be too upset. See if they can come out and have a big third quarter.
Here's Shea Ili. Check back into the game. Webster now, 9 seconds on the shot clock. Webster trying to create space, can't get it. Finally gets the call. And Kostas Slukas calmly says, yep, that's on me.
And this is good patience from Webster. He was getting slightly frustrated because Slukas was staying in front of him, but he kept going. He kept with his crossovers, his body shakes and everything like that. And eventually it paid off.
And you know, this New Zealand team, they trust him. They trust him with those kind of moves. They're not afraid. As Abercrombie kicks it back out to Ili. They're not afraid to just get themselves ready for a shot. Ili kicks it back out. Webster wide open at the top. That is his spot. Is somebody going to check the tape on this guy?
That's 4 from 6 now. That's 4 from 6.
And every single one of them have been from the top of the key. Slukas, Printesses, back to Slukas. Giannis trying to get it on the inside, and there's going to be a foul this time on Lowe. And Lowe, once again, he's about the third separate New Zealand front court man that's saying, I don't know what else to do.
But you know what? I actually agree. Finn Delaney is calling shouting at the official a little bit. He shouldn't really be shouting at the official, but I understand what he's calling. When Antetokounmpo is posting up and trying to establish in the low block, his arm is hooking all the way around the back of his defender, and he can't do that. He can't be hooking his player out the way.
And you know, that was something that Alex Garcia in the previous game as Antetokounmpo goes up and in, but they get away with one there.
Yep, they seem to get a piece of the ball, and that's the key. It's not about one-on-one, it's about 3-on-1 against Antetokounmpo.
Ili. He wants a reset, and he's got time for it too. Abercrombie, nice cut inside, just can't hold on to it. Up and under, what a finish that is by the captain, Tom Abercrombie.
That's a big play. That's a big play. Most people have lost their composure when they fumbled the ball, but he managed to get back to it and go straight up with it.
Between Shea Ili and Abercrombie, I mean, these tall blacks, they are living up to their name. They are standing tall against the NBA's MVP. Kick it out. Printesses gets it back, looking for Giannis, gonna do it himself now. Up and in, textbook finish at the buzzer.
Yeah, it's a great play by Printesses, and Abercrombie needs to know that he has to challenge that.
Abercrombie up, float, tries to get the roll. They're gonna call the foul. And 2 shots for Tom Abercrombie. Coach Skortopoulos can't believe it.
And I think that's going to be Slukas' second foul as well. But yeah, it's the right call. He's put his hand on his stomach as he's gone up.
And he's left his feet.
Yeah, the issue you've got as well is it's your instinct to do something like that. If someone's coming towards you, you're going to put your hand out to stop them hitting you. But yeah, the only option you have is to take a charge or take it, fully on the chest.
And we spoke about this time and again for New Zealand. It's their play style. They're going to come right at you. And I think that, to their credit, I don't think Greece was truly prepared for just the amount of confidence and determination that these tall blacks have had when they've been attacking the paint in this game.
I don't think anyone is when they play New Zealand. I really don't. I don't think they expect them to have so much confidence and so much hustle and heart about them.
Papa Nicolau. Oh, nice spin move there. Up and under, can't get the drop, and you can see him jumping in air in frustration. Abercrombie, Delaney. Gonna go up and in himself. Oh, slows it down, just can't get it up. And once again, though, I'm loving the confidence from these tall blacks.
Yeah, back to back, great moves, poor finish.
Giannis up, in, floats, foul, going to the line, and New Zealand can't believe it.
I'll be interested to see the replay on that one. It's a strong move by Antetokounmpo, and he's forcing the action. Yeah, arm on his arm. Yep. That's absolutely right. It's the right call.
Yep. Unfortunately, sometimes as we've got a substitution into the game for Greece's number 19, Giannis Papapetro.
I always find it funny when you watch players. They put their arms straight up in the air saying, oh, look, I'm straight up. Yeah, but your feet are making you walk around in circles. That means you're not still anymore. It doesn't matter where your arms are if you keep walking.
That's just that advantage that Giannis has over so many other players. Well, no matter who they are, he's just so long, so big, so strong that even if you think you're playing perfect defense, he's still able to get that contact just because of how big he is and how agile he is.
He's certainly a handful.
Never seen anything like him before in the game of basketball. Giannis knocks down the second. And that's the scariest part. He could still keep getting better and better. And I guarantee you, he's coming out of this tournament a lot better, at least mentally, understanding what it's going to take.
Yeah, I think he's going to come out an awful lot tougher. He's had a tough first couple of games, and he's learned from those.
Here's Abercrombie. Kicks it out, Webster. Oh, kicks it back over. What a great find that was. Abercrombie, he's got him, knock that down. You can see the frustration. He knows he had that. Full speed, Giannis. Kicks it over, shot goes up, no good. Corey Webster, huge rebound for New Zealand. Can they create something now? For three, Corey Webster! Corey Webster, remember that name.
He is in a dreamland right now. Everything he's shooting is good to go. You don't even have to watch it go in. You know what's about to happen. You're about to hear string music.
I'm starting to believe that the true winner of this year's FIBA World Cup will not be the team that takes home. It'll be Corey Webster's agent.
I think so. I think so.
Antetokounmpo, nice find inside. Give him another assist and a nice finish by Yorgos Printessis.
Yeah, Antetokounmpo now 12 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. He's filling the box score up.
Webster up and in. Oh my goodness, Corey Webster.
Wow, this is a straightforward one-on-one shootout now. Who's going to come out with the biggest stat line? Corey Webster or Antetokounmpo?
21 points in the first half. Slukas, no-look find to Kalathis underneath. Oh, that's just a heady move by the veteran.
Yeah, Abercrombie's got to do better, though. He's got to lock out that baseline, get his foot on the baseline, so he's going to stop Kalathis coming back.
Illy, nice spin move, up and in, just can't get the finish. He will get the foul, though. Oh, my goodness, this is so much fun to watch, this game. New Zealand, I mean, they just believe in themselves.
It's just not stopping. This is the great thing about these games. It's like two heavyweights just throwing haymaker after haymaker at each other, hoping the other one's going to falter, and neither are stepping back. Not 1 inch are they moving back from the fight. Every single player on both teams is fully zoned in on this one.
40 seconds to go in this half. You know, if you're a New Zealand fan, you're hoping that they can hold on, maybe just at least get one more stop after these buckets. And you'd be sitting in a very good situation right now as Illy gets the kind roll from the charity stripe. Coach Inare, stoic as always, on the sideline.
You can almost feel the excitement from though. He's like a kid in a sweet shop at the moment. These kind of challenges come once in a lifetime for coaches, and you know, the big coaches, the good coaches relish these opportunities.
Illy makes good on the second. We got a substitution. Illy going to take a seat as Ty Webster seeing if he can be a spark plug for this New Zealand team in the final 40 seconds of this half.
Yeah, he's not had a bad game so far either. Only played 12 minutes, 5 points, 2 boards, 3 assists. Not quite the level of his brother, but still putting the numbers in.
Oh, a rare miss by Kalathis, and Webster goes behind the back. Do we have more magic? Smith-Milner kicks it out. And here's Ty Webster wisely bringing it back. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Shakes his defender. Just can't get the roll. 16 seconds, and it's Giannis with the ball. And what's that going to be? That's going to be on low, his second personal.
Smart move by Giannis, try and claim as many scalps as he can on the foul stake. What I expect to see now is an isolation, I imagine, for the Giannis. Then you'll see a double team come across to try and stop him, and that's the point he'll kick it out. Expect every other Greek player to be spotting up corners and wings.
Delaney with the matchup of his life right now, as there's going to be a Greece timeout. We'll see what Coach Skortopoulos can draw up here in this final possession.
Okay, Irema, hey, okay. Our alpha. But here is Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's it. Here, alpha. If it's on, with this action, Yorgos goes low, Giannis here. Okay, you get the ball play set immediately. But if it's our alpha, okay, now this triangle. If it's not, he comes Box in.
12 seconds, your last time.
And here's the man of the moment for New Zealand. To say he's got a hot hand is a complete understatement of what he has done so far in this game. 21 points in just 16 minutes of play. And it's not by just jacking shots up. He's 5 from 7 for the perimeter. You know, that's 71%. A lot of players don't shoot free throws at that percentage.
He's finding his hot zones, that's for sure. And Greece is definitely going to need to take a look at what they're doing defensively to keep him away from that top of the key. But here we are, back to the game now. Giannis, spin move, up, under, great defense, does not matter. Giannis finishes. Webster for 3. No good, and that's going to be your first half. Mark, what a half of basketball it was.
Yeah, an amazing half. So many highlights to talk about, so many individual performances that are just trying to grab hold of the game. And it's on a knife edge. And here are the shooting stats from that first half, and a pretty good reading for both sides, to be honest with you. And we have a tight game across the stats, and we have a pretty tight game in scoring. A 7-point lead for Greece. The turnovers have been toned down. New Zealand only turned the ball over once in that second quarter, and I think that's going to be a huge part of the game. Can they protect the ball? Can they make their possessions count?
I think you could ask yourself as well, going into this third quarter, as we take a look at the top scorers, Antetokounmpo living up to the bill right now, 14 points, but Corey Webster, my goodness.
Just fully unstoppable at the moment, Corey Webster. They don't seem to find a solution for him. And you know, that might be how New Zealand take the win here.
So also, I mean, so we're just taking a look at some of these some of these highlights. Enjoy them. Do not go anywhere, please. This is going to be one heck of a finish here in Nanjing, China.
points right here for Lionel. Oh, Paolo! With a 360 turn and then a slam dunk.
Paczynski, bounce pass, what a play by Poland.
Again, Coach Taylor has to be pleased with the off-ball movement. People don't stand around on this team.
Gasol with a massive three. Surely the dagger in the game. Touch pass and Mesri throws it down, draws the foul. He'll go to the line for a bonus.
Man, they just did the same thing Puerto Rico did to them.
6 on the shot clock. Here comes Brown. Brown, step back for 3. Oh! Can you believe it? What a 3 from Brown! And with 5 seconds to go, Puerto Rico take the lead.
My parents gave me away, so I had no purpose in this life. Yeah. When you educate a woman, you educate a nation. It's a quote from Nelson Mandela, by the way.
I'd like to welcome everyone back here to second half action here in Nanjing, China. My name is Ryan Greco, taking care of your play-by-play, joined by Mark Miller. And Mark, I mean, just some thoughts on that exciting first half.
Yeah, it was edge of your seat stuff, that's for sure. It started obviously with Giannis Antetokounmpo just putting on a show, just showing exactly why he's the hot ticket in town. And the Chinese fans absolutely loved it here in the arena. But before too long, Corey Webster said, no, this is my show. And he straightforward took over of all proceedings on the floor. And he's the one that's kept New Zealand in this. He's had a hot hand from outside, 21 points in the first half. And a huge amount of that, 15 of it coming from the perimeter. He's 5 from 7, 71% from outside. And, you know, he's got a huge amount to do in the second half if New Zealand are going to win this. They trail by 7 at the half. It's a big ask to fight back. They won that second quarter by 2 points. They just need to keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, I think another huge factor for New Zealand in this second half will be can Fatu stay out of that foul trouble.
Yeah, he picked up 2 early fouls, went to the bench, came back on, and made an absolute schoolboy mistake. He got lured into and egged on by one of the Greek players. I think it was Manzaris at the time, and just dropped his shoulder into him for an offensive foul, and he went straight back off again. He's not had the impact he's had in the tournament so far. Bear in mind, he's averaging 18.5 points a game across the first 2 games, and he's only on 6 at the half.
And let me pose this question to you, Mark. Now, Greece, despite all of their depth, despite all of their ability, despite all of their experience, this is a team that's been rather flat in the third quarter in both of these games, so far being outscored 49-25. What do you think it's going to take for them to kind of shake that against a team that is clearly fearless when it comes to going up against them?
I have a feeling what it needs is it needs that real leader. It needs that one person just to take it by the scruff of the neck and try and take the game on. It looks like it might be Antetokounmpo today. He looks like he's in the mood for this game. You know, he's looked a little bit subdued in the first 2 games. He's a very different beast that we see today. And maybe that's what they need, just someone to say, give me the ball, let me be the spark, let me ignite our offense in this second half.
Well, so far in that first half, he's actually, he has been exactly what you just said. He's led his entire team in all the stats, all major stats, points, rebounds, even assists. He's been that guy so far in the first half, but to your point, it still remains to be seen if he can be that man in the second.
Yeah, and it's going to take the cast of many. It's not just about him, and that's the key. He started off by scoring, so he got to his points pretty soon. What then happened was you had double, triple teams coming in from New Zealand and a lot of physicality, but the young man had a bright, you know, kind of epiphany moment of, well, just let them come. As soon as I get 2 guys come across to me, I've got shooters. My team is loaded with shooters, so I just need to kick the ball back out, and they've shown that. You know, you've got Slukas coming in hitting shots. Papa Petru's hit a couple of deep threes. That's, I think, possibly more what the second half's going to look like for Greece.
Absolutely. As you can see, the Greece fans, they're excited, they're hopeful, but you can also see the nerves a little bit, as they've been in this situation before, leading at halftime against Brazil, a dominating performance against Montenegro. But this New Zealand team, if they're anything, they are resilient.
They are, and they will fight till the final buzzer. You know, they have made it out of the group stage in the last 4 World Cups. So for them not to make it out this time would be, in their mind, a failure. That's not what they've come here to do. The minimum is getting out of the group stage. So for them, they're going to fight to that final buzzer. That's never going to change.
As we take a look at what Molinari might be drawing up here going into this third quarter for New Zealand.
Switch up that thing.
It's the same stuff. I go over this.
Yeah. We're good? Yeah. Like, we're L downs with Robbie, Ike. Ωραία, ο Γιάννης θα πάει low με τον Κώστα και ο Θανάσης θα ανοίξει εδώ. Αν δεν γίνει τίποτα, πάσα στον Νίκ, Θανάση μπορεί να έρθει εσύ να παίξεις. Από το επικαιρό και ο Γιάννης θα ανοίξει. Εντάξει.
Άμα είναι για μένα, πάτε απλά εσύ. Καταλάβεις εννοώ. Μην αλλάξεις το παιδάκι, αλλά πάτε εσύ το ίδιο πράγμα και κόβω εγώ. Καταλάβεις. Αν είναι για τον Κώστα, να την πάρει Θανάσης.
Να παίξει 2-2. Εντάξει.
1-2-3.
Έλα. Άμυνα, ξεκινάμε δυνατά, θα πάω.
Nice, calm Greek squad getting ready to come back out on the floor, and to a certain degree that's going to be the key. They're going to have to stay together as a team, and it's not just about the game here today. The rest of the tournament, if they make it through to the second round, that's going to be a big key to their success and their chances of making it onto the podium.
So Kostas Slukas starting out this game, starting out this half, on the bench with 3 personal fouls. But you know, as you've said time and again, Mark, this is a very, very deep team. They can afford to lose. However, with Fatou on the floor, New Zealand cannot afford to lose him. So there's a bit of rough stuff going on in the post here. This is Papa Petro. Gets it back, up and in, hook shot, good.
And that might be a tactic for them. Make Corey Webster have to play defense. Make him work hard, particularly something in the low post, and it might affect his offensive production.
Here's Fatou with Antetokounmpo on him, and really you can see this Greek team really going for length here going into this third quarter. Webster trying to go into the basket, and Kalathis gets caught with his hand in the cookie jar.
Yeah, only his first foul, so Greek fans will be relieved. The last thing they want is to see Slukas and Kalathis in foul trouble, but yeah, an easy one for the officials to call as Ty Webster just tries to slide his way into the lane.
Just the absolute speed and agility of the Webster brothers for New Zealand. I mean, they have been causing fits for everyone they've been going up against, but it's going to be especially challenging for a guy like Kalathis as Fatou gets the ball in the inbound. And Webster thinks about it wisely, passes it back, lets his big man get some work in. Webster up and in, hook shot, and that's what they need, don't they, Mark?
And that's the trademark Fatou, you know, hook shot. That's what he's going to go to. What we can hope for New Zealand's perspective is that he can stay in the game.
Kalathis running high out, gets it over to Papanikolaou. Double team comes in, Kalathis drives to the basket, trying to take on Fatou, but here's Giannis. And he's going to get called with the charge. Excellent play by the captain, Tom Abercrombie, for the Tall Blacks. That's
a great play by Abercrombie. That really is. He's read the situation. He knows what Antetokounmpo's go-to is. It's go to the side and then spin your way back in. As long as you can get yourself planted where you know he wants to put his feet, he's going to clash into you.
And you can even tell Giannis, no reaction when he got called. He knew he got caught on that one. Low. But you do love seeing that energy from the MVP. He knows that this isn't going to come easy, and you can see a real level of respect that we may not have seen from before, as there's a steal right on cue. Giannis Antetokounmpo tries to get it over to his brother, finds it back to him as Thanasis goes flying into the cameras, kicks it back out. Thanasis for 3, all the time in the world, and a poor breakdown there by New Zealand.
Yeah, it's one of those as well. On the scouting report, you'd say let Thanasis shoot the 3. He's not necessarily the best of shooters from outside, but made him pay this time.
Webster. Oh, nice find. It just misses. And coming down with the rebound is Papanikolaou. Looking for an option. He wants to slow down.
You know exactly what he wants to do. He wants to post up Corey Webster.
Giannis up, under. Great defense by the Tall Blacks, but a bit of a late call. but I think it was the right one.
Oh, it absolutely was the right one. It was a slightly late call, but better late than never in that situation. Yeah, you can see the contact from Abercrombie. And the thing you've got with Antetokounmpo, he can take a bit longer and stay up in the air while you're still, deciding what to do, and you come back down. He's still floating up there, so it's a tough defensive assignment.
I just want to say this very quickly, too. Tom Abercrombie is one of the most unsuspecting athletes you will find. I mean, in the warm-ups, this guy was the dunks he was throwing down, his head was at the rim. Not a guy you would expect, but here's Webster. Gets the rebound, loses a handle on it, gets it back, up and in. My God, he's just feeling it right now. Corey Webster, point number 23 on that for him. Also his second rebound of the game.
He's on a different level at the moment. He's in that zone where he knows everything he does is going to pay dividends.
He's knocked out of bounds. 56-48. New Zealand hanging tough right now with 7:37 to go against the heavily favored Greeks. A team that at the beginning of this tournament was coming in expecting to win, are now fighting for their lives to get out of the group stage.
And this is international basketball. This is World Cup basketball. No game is a gimme. No favourite is truly a favourite.
Antetokounmpo with Fatou on him. He's going to take on Fatou. Up, in, just so explosive, but too explosive a little bit.
Exactly what I was going to say. Just exploded too much and almost made it a difficult shot to shoot down into the basket rather than get any kind of arc on the shot.
I wish I had that problem.
That would be nice. It would be nice.
Here's Fatou. Works in the post. Breakdown in communication there. And the teammate's going to have a quick chat about that one.
And these were some of the turnovers that we saw in their game against Montenegro that caused us concern. Unforced turnovers. There was no real pressure. They could have made an easy pass, but they, the easy mistake instead.
Dare I say it, Mark, as Kalathis kicks it out, and here's Papanikolaou now. This is Thanasis to Giannis. And Giannis going to let it fly from three. Great closeout, though, by Lowe.
Perfect closeout.
Webster on a fast break now, kicks it out. Lowe, great ball movement here. Abercrombie, big three, no good. Papanikolaou, fast break to Papapetro, up and in, and what a finish that is by the Greeks.
Thanasis almost took his own head off then, trying to follow through on the rebound. Had to duck to avoid headbutting the backboard on the way through.
I was just going to say, Mark, with a team like New Zealand that loves to run up and down the floor, that trade-off you see is just a slight less cohesiveness in the half-court game than a lot of other teams in this group have.
Yeah, absolutely. Half-court is not as strong for them as the transition is.
Kalathis, up and under, misses. Giannis goes up, and it's going to be a foul, smart foul by Corey Webster. Only his second personal.
Yeah, that's fine. You're happy to give away your second at this stage of the game. The issue goes if he picks up his third. That could see him make a trip to the bench, and that's not what New Zealand want.
We do have a number of players, though, coming in for New Zealand, as Shea Ili back into the game, who had a very nifty finish over Giannis in the first quarter. Also in Delaney, who's probably got the matchup of his life right now, having to try and guard Giannis for a lot of that first half. And then, of course, Rusbach in Ethan Rusbach, who's been a very impressive shooter for New Zealand in this tournament. Giannis misses the first. I believe that's his third miss from the free throw line.
Yeah, you hope it just doesn't come back to haunt him at the end of the game, because you have a feeling it might be a close one.
New Zealand only shooting 38% from the free throw line. Greece, 64%. Makes the second. 59-48, 6:18 to go here in the third. New Zealand and Greece. Winner moves on to the next round. Loser is playing for placement. Here's Lowe with Giannis on him. Webster for three, heat check. Corey Webster.
And you can feel the aura of him now. He has ultimate confidence in his own abilities. He knows that when he can get just the slightest look at the basket, he's good to go.
I'm a Dragon Ball Z fan, as are a lot of basketball players here and there, especially out in North America. He's got Ultra Instinct right now. Ultra Instinct. Calling it right now. Shea Ili loses it over. Another unforced turnover and an easy bucket and a much-needed timeout. And Pollinari, I can imagine, is screaming inside right now.
Yeah, it's frustrating. Again, it's that unnecessary turnover. He didn't need to do that. There was no need and no benefit to try and run that as quick as he did. And Kalathis more than happy to scoop it up and get the easy 2, and a 13-point lead now for Greece.
So, just pick a shoulder and go. You're right, you're right. Hey, hit that snap. Hit that snap. Robbie. As Robbie's going into the screen for Corey. Slip out. All right, slip out early. Chile, you might have Robbie on the rim. All right? Hit that snap. Okay? When we're playing, with that lineup, keep spaced. All right?
As we watch a replay of Fotu and Giannis going to work, so many players working hard in the low post. This is the biggest lead of the game for Greece now, 13 points with just over 5.5 to play. And it's a smart move by Coach Inare, calling it, slowing it down, hitting a reset button, but they do need to start chipping away at this lead. They can't have it at 13 points going into the final quarter, because what you'll see is Greece starting to time manage, starting to run the clock and using their big basketball brains to dominate this one.
Big basketball brains. Much needed. Here's Illy. Goes behind the back. Once again, nearly loses himself. Delaney gets it over to Webster, and Illy, 14 seconds to go on the shot clock. Webster trying to create separation, finds on the inside.
Oh!
What a jam!
Get up, Finn Delaney. That was an unexpected play.
That'll do it for your confidence. And now he's got the MVP at the other end to guard. Kalathis works inside. Here's Giannis. Looking for an option. Kicks it back out. Kalathis wide open. No good. But Thanasis comes down with the rebound. And Greece is going to get a fresh 14. Giannis kicks it back out. Wise decision. Up and in. Just gets the rollout. Webster, fast break. Illy kicks it out. Corner. Russ Batch. No good.
Beautiful phase of play by New Zealand. Couldn't quite get the corner 3 to drop, though. I think that would have got the crowd going.
Antetokounmpo, they're going to call a blocking foul.
And this is going to be on Webster. That's number 3. This is what we were talking about.
There is a substitution coming in. Smith Milner, he's going to take out Rob Lowe. As we look at the replay there, still a good call. And Delaney, just out of nowhere. And Antetokounmpo thought he had a block there, and Delaney said, big man, I can get up there too.
Yeah, no, a big, powerful play and strong play. And like you said in the actual play-by-play, that's where your confidence comes from. Those kind of plays, that's what Corey Webster's been feeling. If he can get a few teammates that way, then New Zealand are powerful. They can score in a hurry.
Every single one of these players on this New Zealand roster can throw it down. We've seen every single one of them. So do not be shocked if you see one more time someone from this team just out of nowhere throws it down. Here's Kalathis. Gets it over to Papapetro. Inside now. Kicks it out. No good. Also back into the game is Printessis, number 15 for Greece.
Yeah, Delaney should have chased that one down. He was missing in action for that play.
And we're going to have a blocking foul this time on Smith Milner.
Interesting to see the replay on this. Did he position? No, nowhere near.
That's
nowhere near positioning. He drew the contact, but he was moving.
And that's just been, unfortunately, the downfall for Smith Milner. He's been getting himself in there, but as you said, he's still sliding over as you know, these Greek players are just too fast. They're too quick, too agile on those first steps, and they're catching Milner out of position.
It'd be interesting to see now from New Zealand's perspective. Corey Webster has gone back to the bench, obviously on the 3 fouls. Where's the offensive production going to come through now? Who's going to take that role when everything's not working? Give me the ball and I'll score. Probably going to be his brother Ty, if we're honest.
Either him or Shea Illy. Illy's shown time and again he's capable of taking the contact. Oh, Webster, spin move, right on cue, Mark, making you look like a genius.
T. Webb with a beautiful spin move to the basket. Just elegance personified.
Kalathis with Illy on him. They're going to have to make Greece work right now. They've got to get them tired. They got to wear them down. Kalathis inside. And there's going to be a foul on Illy. And I don't think Illy will have a problem. He doesn't care. He's still clapping himself up, going, nope, nothing easy.
Really just needs to be careful. You've got to be so careful when a player's in the air like that. The last thing you want to do is flip him over, but there's the move from Ty Webster. Puts it on a spin cycle, and his teammates and his brother love that one.
Webster with 7 points so far in this game, shooting 43% from the field. He's got one made three. Thanasis Antetokounmpo, this has really kind of been a coming out party for him. 9 points. That's his highest total so far in this tournament.
Yeah, he didn't get many minutes against Brazil in game day 2. I'm sure he was frustrated by that. Less than 10 minutes on the court for him.
He's shooting 67% from the field, but misses his first free throw. Makes good on the second, though. And the lead is now back up to double digits for Greece. They've outscored New Zealand 15-11 in this third quarter. Illy up and in. Huge rejection, but they're going to call goaltending. And the speed and athleticism of Illy getting there in time.
Oh, Illy just put the afterburners on, flat out put the afterburners on and blast past his defender. Thanasis Antetokounmpo comes across on a weak side help, and it looks like a great play, but does it touch the backboard? Yeah, it does.
Oh yeah, easy call.
That's
there for
goaltend.
the Yep.
That's goaltend all day long. It looks great, but it's still 2 points for New Zealand. Single-digit lead now for Greece.
Gonzalez. Printesses, kicks it inside. And loses it is Panayotis Vasilopoulos, not the entrance to the game that he wanted.
And this is part of the problem with Greece. They only ran a 9-man rotation against Brazil. Vasilopoulos was one of the players who missed out, and you become really rusty in tournament play. If you miss a game, you're kind of taking 3 or 4 steps backwards. It's almost like back to before the tournament even started, and you see his frustration as he kicks the ball, and that's an easy technical foul for the officials to call. And Ty Webster will go to the line and convert the bonus shot.
Ty Webster, they understand how important it is to put points on the board when the clock is not running, and unfortunately for New Zealand, you can make the argument, Mark, as great as Greece is and as well as they have been playing, New Zealand's really just been kind of beating themselves.
Yeah, if they hadn't made those simple mistakes, I think we'd be in a tied game, if not a New Zealand lead.
And right on cue, Abercrombie falls down, and it's going to be a slippery floor. That one definitely not the Tall Blacks' fault, though.
No, not in this situation, no.
Yeah, between the poor free throw shooting and the unnecessary turnovers, I dare I say this might even be a lead for New Zealand right now.
Yeah, it could potentially be. So the great thing you've got about New Zealand is they're going to write that off in their minds, though. That's done and dusted. It's in the past. They're a team that constantly looks to the future.
Here's Delaney to Illy. Yep, no quit in these guys. Whole lot of fight. Illy up and in himself, and there's going to be a foul. And that's it right there, just walking through the woods.
And this is what Illy did in game day 1 when they played Brazil. He refused to step back. He refused to walk away from the challenge, and he really was the spark that almost got them the win at the end, where Brazil let them back into the game. It was off the back of this kind of play from Shea Illy.
I think the coaching staff, I'm hoping that they took a look at that tape from game day 1 to understand that he can put just about anybody in foul trouble just by his style of play.
Yeah, he can. He's a real wild card that you can kind of play at any time just to try and, dislodge a few problems and change things up. If a team are finding you easy to defend, he's the kind of guy that will put them on their heels.
Inch by inch, New Zealand, can they claw their way back into this one? 2-possession game.
And this is exactly what New Zealand did to Brazil as well.
They'll just grind them down. Here's the find at the other end. Printesses kicks it back out to Kalathis. Kalathis wants to slow down, wants to eat some clock, see what he can create here. But you said it before, Mark, with Giannis off the floor, can they create something now? Can they go on that run? Kicks it over, Papanikolaou, and that's going to be a foul on Illy. And Illy, as upset as he is, it's a pretty easy call.
Yeah, he is very, very frustrated by that. He's saying all ball as he walks away, and he needs to be careful. Yeah, it's all ball, but Printess's right arm comes down and Illy plows through it. That's the problem. It's all ball at the time, but you can't hit the shooter on the follow-through. Yeah, that's the problem.
All ball, and then your shoulder goes careening into the shooter. Sorry, that's...
But that's a great chase out. As a coach, you're frustrated that you're putting a man to the line, but you kind of also have admiration for your player to work so hard to chase that down.
Well, back home, I always try and explain to the players, you want to see, I'd rather see aggressive mistakes than passive ones. Passive mistakes lose games. Aggressive mistakes keep you in it. It's good on the second as well.
Yeah, he's making them pay from the line, that's for sure.
Kostas Papanikolaou. That's his 5th point on the day. We're going to have a substitution, and right on cue, back into the game, Giannis Antetokounmpo, along with number 10, Kostas Sloukas.
Yes, Sloukas is going to have to be careful. He's on 3 fouls. There's still over 12 minutes to play. If he picks up a quick 4th, there could be issues for Greece.
Illy. Over to Abercrombie. He's going to let it fly. What a shot. Huge shot for Tom Abercrombie and the All Blacks.
I don't think Vasilopoulos is going to be in this game very much longer. He's really not at the races at the moment. His brain isn't kind of fully focused.
Antetokounmpo, he's just so fast and so big. I understand Delaney's frustration, but he's just too quick. It is a foul.
For me, that's a very light foul, if I'm honest. That's quite a not a harsh call, because a foul is a foul is a foul. It's, the rules are the rules, but I can understand some frustration. It's been quite a physical encounter where not everything is being called.
Well, the best case scenario you can do is just have the conversation with the ref and say, just keep an eye open when he's initiating contact like that on me. Just keep that in mind. You can't just let him get whatever he wants.
But again, it's not a bad foul. You've sent him to the line and the pressure's paid. He's missed the first.
He's only shooting 67% now. Not terrible, but also not great. Makes good on the second. 70-63, 2:04 to go. I mean, New Zealand's still right in this one.
Oh, absolutely. With 12 minutes to play, it's absolutely anyone's game.
Illy works off the screen, gets the switch. Runs out of real estate, though, gets it to Webster. Still 9 seconds to go, though. He's got time to figure it out. This is a matchup Webster would want. Up, in, finish. Foul, just can't get it to roll.
Oh, it looks like Antetokounmpo's hit the ground quite hard, though. You saw him grimace as he hit the ground. Looks like he's okay, though. He's back on his feet, but what another great play. Ty Webster and Shea Illy, you don't get much quicker a backcourt in this World Cup than those two.
Unbelievable. Look at that right there. But yep, hip flying right into him as he was going up. He was still going up in the air as he was trying to finish the bucket. And I've just been so impressed with the fearlessness of these New Zealand guards.
Hey, they're happy to go in amongst the trees, no matter how big the trees are. It's and it's been critical that they've done that. They're not going to score a lot of points from back to the basket kind of offenses. We've talked about them wanting to be in transition, and even when they get into the half court, they're running transition-like plays. They're not even running half court plays. They're trying to get a bit of ISO, create some space on the floor. So a big part of their game.
Oh, what a second effort there by Delaney. Kicks it out, Abercrombie, no good. But he's going to keep on shooting. Here's Kalathis. Printess's. To Giannis. Giannis going to try and break down his defender. Shoots the 3, no good. That's exactly what you want if you're New Zealand.
Hey, Smith Milner will quite happily watch him shoot the 3 all day long.
Illy. Abercrombie up, floater, foul, goes to the line, much to the delight of the New Zealand bench. Everybody getting up and applauding that one.
Yeah, much to the frustration of Coach Skotopoulos as well. He's absolutely fuming on the Greek bench.
And Vasilopoulos still in there, trying to eat up as many minutes as he can before, and I think that's the plan Skotopoulos has in his mind now is, okay, if he's going to stay this aggressive, then at least let him get involved. But unfortunately that time around, not the guy you want to foul.
No, interestingly enough, I'm surprised we haven't seen Barousis. I know he's slightly slower, and that's going to inhibit him against a team like New Zealand, but I don't think there's a huge pace difference and foot speed difference between Vasilopoulos and Barousis.
Well said, and you know, you can hear the crowd now starting to get behind this New Zealand team. They've been loving the fight. Slukas tries to find it inside, does find his man Prentesses. Prentesses, though, up and under, and there's going to be a foul. And I think, you know, if you're Smith Milner, he's already off balance.
Yeah,
let him go.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no need to initiate the contact at this point.
Look at this. He's off balance right there.
You don't need to step forward. You're happy for him to take a fadeaway jumper.
Yeah.
That's a low percentage shot.
He's right-handed, and he's trying to come in and up and under the basket. Like, that's not going to be... That's an extremely difficult shot, even if you're as skilled as Prentesses. And he gets away with it.
And the three-throw nightmare continues for Greece, which is amazing when you actually think about it. They're shooting 64%. Before the game, they were shooting 89%. Something's going on.
And Greece now shooting 60. 71-66, 58 seconds. I mean, New Zealand's still right where they want to be. Two-possession game. Can they shock the world? Sorry,
they'll be happy
Martin.
with this. They won the second quarter. They're leading this third quarter. They'll be happy.
Here's Webster. Up, under. Oh my goodness. Just a great effort there. The referee almost kind of let him get away with one there. A lot of contact on both ends. Vasilopoulos kicks it inside to Giannis. Giannis with Delaney all over him, and a jump ball. You could tell they were going to call it right away. If they weren't going to call that foul on the initial hit, it's going to be New Zealand ball. And that's a huge turn of events for the Tall Blacks.
Yeah, Delaney absolutely pumped by that play, and rightfully so. He's mixed it up and dragged the ball in.
Smith Milner deserved that. He deserved it. He's had such a rough day.
Yeah, it's been tough. It's been tough. But ultimately, that's part of his role within this kind of structure for Tall Blacks, is that he's not going to be the glamour player that gets, you know, all the plaudits and all the limelight. He is going to do some of the rough and tough stuff, and he's having to do it today.
10 seconds on the shot clock. Illy, he's going to attack up in himself. Not going to call it. Vasilopoulos comes down with it. 6 seconds remaining in the quarter. 4 seconds. 3 seconds. Prentesses. No good. And that's going to do it in the third quarter. And I can imagine that despite the frustration of Coach Pollinari right now looking for the foul, New Zealand is right where they want to be, Mark.
Yeah, absolutely. We spoke about it after the break of the half. The key was maybe to close down their gap a little bit, but at least don't let it get out. Now, for New Zealand, they're one of these. They want to keep you within striking distance, and that's where they are. And here are your shooting stats from the game so far, and reasonably good shooting performances across the board. It's been interesting, probably in this third quarter. Corey Webster picked up his third foul early on. That sent him to the bench, but we haven't seen a downplay from New Zealand. They've not gone into a slump at all. The rest of the team have come around, and they've picked up the pieces where they've needed to. They've taken on that extra weight that Corey Webster leaves behind him.
I mean, it's just I really, you just took the words right out of my mouth, because this team, despite not being without their top scorer only registering 5 points in that quarter for them, not even a drop-off. They won that quarter 22-20 and have bit into this lead. I mean, that's just nothing short of incredible. But, you know, if you're a New Zealand fan and you're used to seeing this kind of level of cohesion within this team.
Oh, absolutely. It's, you know, it's one of probably their biggest strength is their strength as a team. And Finn Delaney with the big throwdown. That's a highlight film. He'll be showing the grandkids, that's for sure. But for New Zealand, that's their big strength. Their strength is in their numbers, in their team, and how they play basketball together. None of them, you know, call each other out in a bad way. They're all accountable to each other, sure, but it's in a positive, reinforcing way. And for Greece, they are starting to build that as well. You're starting to see that within their team, that they're coming together to be quite a close, tight unit. The key for them is, how do they bring in a superstar like Antetokounmpo into that unit and keep your team spirit and your team morale and your team ethos going?
As we also take a look here at, I mean, a guy that I really want to talk about very briefly would have been Tom Abercrombie. And he's just been nothing short of incredible so far for New Zealand. as we get back to the action here. I just said, just really briefly there before the pause, Tom Abercrombie, 11 points, second on the team in scoring right now. A huge step up for him after what was definitely 2 frustrating games earlier in this tournament. As we get to the action, what a save there by Antetokounmpo. Kicks out, Slukas. But they're fighting for it, and Delaney coming down with it.
A mistake originally by Antetokounmpo, but he made up for it with an unbelievably athletic play to swat it back in.
Here's Abercrombie. Trying to go off the back screen. Smith, Milner, no good. And Antetokounmpo coming down with it, and Giannis is going to bring it up here for Greece. See if he can take on Delaney. Kicks it back out, though. Here's Giannis. Working it around. You can't leave him open.
They don't need to double team down that hard on Giannis. What they need is they need weak side help. So when Giannis does start to barge his way to the basket, you've got someone coming across to reinforce you or to protect the rim. They don't need a guard doubling down.
Here's Webster. Spin move up and under, right to the basket. Ty Webster.
T-Web with another big spin move. It's almost becoming his trademark as he floats in and finger rolls it home.
So explosive. I mean, he can easily dunk. That was incredible watching him in practice. Some of the stuff he was throwing down. Shot goes up. Another huge triple right on cue. Giannis Papapetro, he had a huge fourth quarter as well against Brazil.
They've got to stop doubling down on Giannis. That's going to cause them more issues than if Giannis goes to the basket.
Webster. See, hopefully he hasn't iced down at all for New Zealand in this fourth quarter. They're going to need him now more than ever. And Smith Milner, looked like he got hit pretty hard in the head there. And
yeah, I feel sorry for Smith Milner there. That was almost a replica of what's being called at the other end, so I can understand his frustrations. That's obviously a foul, but the defense played by Antetokounmpo seemed very similar to the defense they've been playing on him down the other end.
And Rob Lowe coming in, and it seems like he's going to take out Delaney, and Smith Milner staying in. What a save that was by Antetokounmpo. Just incredible second effort. This is the second time we've seen him just go full out sprawling this week, diving for a loose ball.
And it just shows, you know, he is dedicated. He is completely committed to his country and their efforts to try and win gold here in China.
Slukas kicks it out. Printesses wide open again from the top of the key. You cannot leave these guys open, and Coach Sonari has seen enough as the lead is now back up to 11.
Yeah, that's a 9-2 start, and all of the points have come from the perimeter. They've got to stop doubling down. At some point on the court, they need to work that out.
It might not be you, but you might have to go.
Hey, we're good, boys. Let's go.
Hey, yo, in the horns. Hard choke, both. All right, opposite big catch. Good. Hard choke both, opposite big catch. When they come, we got to get off the ball. So they go this way. You're not ready to show. You got to get there quick. And our shows have to be vertical and back, yeah? All right, we're good. Giannis in the post.
And here's some highlights of Antetokounmpo and exactly what he's done in this game, and it's showing on the box score as he gets to his double-double. 16 points, 10 rebounds, a huge performance. If you wonder what the noise in the arena is, though, there's actually a proposal going on at the moment on the jumbo screen above us. And it looks like she said yes. You think Giannis Antetokounmpo's having a good day. I think he's having a better one.
And he's rocking the Antetokounmpo jersey. As we get a look at the an incredibly explosive move there by Ty Webster. Almost a mirror image of a couple of his plays earlier in that third quarter. And I mean, you know, this is their MO, though, as we look at Antetokounmpo recording a double-double, 16 points, 10 rebounds. I believe almost the identical stat line for him yesterday, too.
Yeah, pretty much. He seems in a different mindset today, though.
Yeah,
he seems a lot more ready, a lot more engaged with the challenge that he's got in front of him. This isn't an NBA game, it's a very different sport. And another unforced error from New Zealand as Finn Delaney just steps over the line when he's looking to inbound the ball. as a player, that's one of the ones you learn. Maybe step back from the line. If you want to step into your pass, give yourself some space to do it out of bounds still.
And as you can see right there, Sluka's almost taking a page from that. Look how far back he is. He doesn't want to take that chance. Here's Giannis. Kicks it out. Nice find on the inside. Slukas kicks it over. Papapetro gonna try and go out, but great defense. Great defense by the Tall Blacks.
That's good hustle and rotation. They kept moving, they kept talking. You know, you could hear really loud calls, particularly from Rob Lowe, constantly from the back of the defense, just shouting out exactly where people need to move to when screens were coming, and that's the teamwork, and that's how it pays dividends.
These guys have no quit in them, Mark.
Absolutely none. This is going to go to the buzzer.
12-point deficit. A lot of teams at this point, you'd worry that they're starting to think, you know, teams will rush, try and score all 12 of those points in one possession. New Zealand is not that type of team. They will take their time. Yes, they will make their mistakes, but they will not give up. There's Webster. Does he have one more monster quarter in him for the Tall Blacks? To his brother Ty. Tom Abercrombie, step back, knocks it down, huge shot.
It's a good time for Abercrombie to come to life. He's up to 13 points personal now. This is his best game of the World Cup so far, and it's going to need to be.
By far. Slukas. Giannis up and inside. What a pass that was by Slukas.
Yeah, Finn Delaney's not going to be able to front someone like Antetokounmpo. The size difference just way too much.
Webster. See if he might want to take on the MVP. No, decides to get it off. Here's Corey. Corey's going to let it fly from deep. In rhythm, but can't get it. Tries to save it. Abercrombie comes down with it. He's going to fight through, though. See if he can get it out, and it's going to go out of bounds, and a great heads-up play there by the team captain.
Yeah, very, very smart play. He was locked in place.
Take a look at the replay there. Just a beautiful find by Slukas. That's been his calling card throughout this opening round. So we got a substitution. And Fotu back into the game here for New Zealand. This is what Coach Pollinari's been waiting for. Right back to form.
And that's what they've needed from him. It's really sad that he hasn't been able to be a bigger part of this game because of foul trouble. He's on 3 fouls. That should last him to the end of the game now. He should be fresh as well. He's only played 10 minutes.
Isaac Fotu off the screen. He's coming right back now. Great closeout there. Forces Printesses to think about it. And as a result, New Zealand gets the ball.
You feel there's so much more rim protection when Fotu's in the game.
Webster kicks it back out. Fotu kicks it over. Illy. Kicks it over. Oh, what a find on the inside. Tom Abercrombie with the throwdown.
Yeah, he floats up high and throws it down hard, and that's forced the Greeks into a timeout. They feel a momentum change, and we feel it here in the arena as well, as Illy with the little fake, the step back, and wonderful pass to the slashing Abercrombie for the dunk. Quite a few Toolback fans in the crowd, and they're enjoying that one. Let's listen to the Greek timeout.
Μην κάνουμε τώρα χωρίς λόγο. Ωραία, επίθεση για μας. Όποιον φυλάει ο Webster είναι εδώ. Εσύ. Πριν, Γιάννης, ο άλλος. Μας. Θέλω ατάκ εδώ, είμαστε στο πόνους. Ωραία. Ο Γιάννης, Γιάννη. Το 3 εδώ. Οκ, και Γιάννης low. Δώσ' το αγκάρ, low εσύ. Ο 4 εδώ, πικ και πέσου. Εντάξει, άντε, υπομονή.
And alongside Antetokounmpo, Papapetro has had a huge night for Greece. He's up to 16 points personal, only played the 20 minutes. Bear in mind, he's only averaged 5.5 points per game in the first 2. He's really upped his output offensively for Greece.
As you can see him there, just turning it on here in this fourth quarter. It's a phrase I like to use every now and then, winning time. And for Giannis Papapetro, it is indeed winning time for him. 4 of 6 from behind the arc. One of the better shooting performances we've seen all tournament. Here's Slukas bringing it up, and Fatu kind of closing in on him.
It looks like they're almost playing a 1-3-1 zone. They did this in the qualifiers, and it really puts other teams off. They've got to get corner shooters. That's what they need. That's the key.
Giannis up and in, just rims out. A rare miss from that distance for Giannis. Illy, Low for three. What a shot! Rob Lowe!
And now they're within 5, and it's 5.5 minutes to play. New Zealand are in the ascendancy, that's for sure. And if players like Lowe can find that form and get their stroke going from distance, that's going to be a tough one for the Greeks to stop.
No quit. Papa Nicolau, beautiful ball movement, but Fatu comes down with it. And New Zealand, are they going to go off and running now? Here's Illy. You can imagine, you knew it was coming, up and in and under. Can't get the finish though. And Slukas, Lowe gets away with one there. Giannis up and in. They're going to call the foul and one. Giannis Antetokounmpo in MVP form tonight.
That's a big play by Antetokounmpo. He stayed with it all the way, took the contact, kept his eyes firmly fixed on the prize, and the prize was 2 points and a trip to the line. Rob Lowe just on the back foot, really no chance of being involved defensively on that one.
Rob Lowe, though, you gotta have a certain mettle in you to be able to step up and knock down a shot like that with 5 minutes to go in the game and your team down. They need those buckets. And despite the fact that he gave up this foul, he's got to stay confident. MVP chance now. The two with his fourth personal, but they're going to keep him in. I don't really believe they have a choice at this point.
No, this is it's an all-in situation if you're playing poker. This is all your chips on the table and you are pushing everything in. This is a chance of getting to the second round of the World Cup for New Zealand.
Webster, oh, inside to Fatu, up, under. Isaac Fatu.
It's just, and this is what makes it such a great play for him. It's almost mechanical now. His brain knows exactly what it's doing and just repeats the same movement over and over again. It's pure genius.
Picks it over. Slukas gets it back. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Works off the screen from Giannis. Goes up and in. Just rims out. How costly can that be?
That could cost them a lot.
Here's Webster. Gets the ball back, and he's going to get hacked by Kalathis. But it's only, that's Kalathis' third personal, I believe.
Interesting at the moment, Corey Webster not having it all his own way. And he's been so critical, obviously. He hasn't scored in this final quarter. He's on 26 points personal, 21 of those in the first half. So if he starts warming up as well, then the Greeks are in some trouble.
Webster, crossover, up, in, can't finish. And there's gonna be a foul on Rob Lowe. That's his third personal. We've seen that a couple of times now, Mark. They're getting to the basket, but they're not finishing.
Yeah, it's frustrating because they're doing all the hard work. They're doing the difficult bit. You know, the crossover to shake your defender, that's the high piece of skill. It's not the lane at the end. That should be the easy formality, and they're just not quite converting them at the moment.
Kalathis with Webster all over him. Brings it right up to the center court. Tries to work off a screen. Kalathis inside.
That's a smart foul.
Yeah, absolutely. And you could see even earlier, Webster was grabbing on to Giannis, just holding on for dear life as Giannis was trying to get himself inside.
Yeah, no, if he hadn't fouled him there, he would have probably ended up with a Nike tick imprinted on his forehead as he gets dunked on.
Especially when you consider that Fatu can't afford to really challenge Giannis that deep into the post. Not right now. They are going to need his offensive touch at the other end. Kalathis. They're going to eat up some clock here. 3:37 to go in this game. Kalathis, 6 seconds on the shot clock, loses his defender. And that's what big-time players do in big-time situations, Mark.
And that's a guy who has done everything in European basketball. He'll take the pressure on his shoulders. He doesn't feel the pressure in these situations.
Webster in and a foul. And Corey Webster, you you want to say fearless, but at this point, when you've been playing the way that Corey Webster has, that almost is kind of par for the course.
Yeah, it's not to do with fear at all. It's just he knows he's got the better of anyone on the floor at the moment, including Antetokounmpo.
For 2. And the foul on Thanasis, and they're going to call the shot. These are going to be some huge foul shots here. With 3:18 remaining, New Zealand, they're going to have to start going on that run soon.
Yeah, as long as they keep chipping away like this from the line, the clock's not running, they're scoring points, then that's really helpful. But they do need to start getting some stops. The defensive end needs to start stepping up, because this is going to always be the problem with New Zealand. They're going to try and outscore you. But if you let a team score what's probably going to be near 100 points by the end of this game, it's tough to win any game when the team you're playing against is scoring 100 points.
For 2, does good on the first, though. Knocks down the second. 2 huge free throws for New Zealand. Put them back within 2 possessions once more. Can they get the stop now, though? That is the great question. Kalathis works off the screen. Goes up and under to Giannis. And they're going to call the foul there, and Webster, really no choice, had to grab him. 4th personal for him. And as much as you wouldn't want to see him get into foul trouble like this, you know, this New Zealand team has been hanging tough, even without his offensive assistance here in this second half.
Yeah, you feel, though, that they're a little bit fingernails on the edge of the cliff now, that's what they're holding on by. You're starting to see Greece be really clinical on the offensive end. They're being patient, they're taking their time to find the right positions, the right plays, and, you know, another example here. Once Antetokounmpo gets the ball that low, it's either 2 points or he's going to the line.
Giannis makes good on the first. 88-81, 3:03 to go here in this game. Winner moves on to the next round. Loser playing for placement in this tournament. Makes good on the second, too. 89-81. Corey Webster. Does he have anything left in the tank here? Gets it over to his brother. Ty is going to drive right in. Oh, what a move that was.
Wonderful. Just shrugs Kalathis off. Just gives him a little nudge while they're going at full pace, and it's enough to put Kalathis off balance and give him enough space to get the lane.
Kalathis kicks it out. Wide open is Slukas. No good, but a tip-in. No one boxing out. Number 16. Kostas Papanikolaou with the tip-in.
Yeah, Corey Webster lost his assignment there. Needed to step across him.
That's going to be a foul, but a foul to give. Kalathis is 4th.
That could be a concern. Kalathis is a big piece of the puzzle for what the Greeks do.
They got away with one there. Slukas, he's been, I mean, every shooter here for Greece has had that dagger mentality in this second half. For 2, going to get the call. And now it's the penalty.
And this is the key. This is what I'm talking about. What they want to do is keep trying to score without the clock ticking. It's almost like those points are worth more in some way.
Dare I say it, I'd almost want to bring Shea Illy into this now that you've got them in the penalty.
Yeah, absolutely. He's the kind of player you could bring in.
There he is, right on cue.
Especially as someone like Corey Webster's not performing well offensively at the moment. He's struggling. He's not getting the space because they're oversizing him. They're putting Papanikolaou on him, so he's not getting that shot away.
Yep. And you can see, though, Webster not sitting on the bench. He's sitting close by. You can imagine maybe a quick substitution would be in order.
I tell you what they're doing. They're going to try and play one end, one end. So they're going to try and have Corey Webster only play offense now. They'll sub him in and out every time because they know he can't give his foul up. So he's not going to be able to play tough defense, whereas someone like Shea Illy can chase and chase and chase.
Two personal fouls for Shea Illy. Expect a very physical final 2 minutes and 30 seconds in this game. For 2, I mean, he's just been clutch when they've needed him.
Yeah, and it's down to 7 points now, 2.5 minutes. We couldn't get it more closely balanced.
There's Illy. The agitator, ever the agitator, gets pushed off there. Illy cuts in, but Nick Kalathis, he's just been doing this for too long.
Just ice cold, literally antifreeze running through those veins.
Webster, spin move, up, under, gets the foul, going to the line.
Needs to convert that kind of play, though. That's how you get yourself back into a game like this. You need to go for the and one.
Never fails. The Tall Blacks fighting right to the end here.
That's Slukas on 4. So now both their point guards, Kalathis and Slukas, are on 4. That would start to concern me. If we did end up in an overtime situation, that's a tough place for Greece to be. There's not many players that they'd want to bring the ball up. Maybe Papapetru. There's not a huge amount more options for them.
Well, there is one guy that made that's consistently brought the ball up for the Milwaukee Bucks.
It's true. It's true. He could play point forward, but you'd be interested to see who they'd put on him. You'd imagine they'd put someone like Shea Ili on him until he gets over the half and then swap up.
Tough miss. Oh, the second effort. But Kalathis with it. Yeah. That could be costly.
Futu just getting knocked to the floor there.
Kalathis, the Greek fans chanting in the background. They can feel it. They want that second round. Anything less would be disappointment. Kalathis misses. Out of bounds, Tall Blacks.
Anything less would be devastation. It wouldn't be disappointment. They know that in the Greek media, they would absolutely be slaughtered if they don't make it to the second round with the roster they've got at their disposal.
Shea Ili coming out, Corey Webster back in.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're going to do. Look, Ili's sitting on the end of the bench still for New Zealand. They're literally going to try and play Ili on defense and Corey Webster on offense.
But you know what? When you've got a team with this kind of cohesion and chemistry and a coach who knows his players like this, everyone believes in the plan. Webster, no good. Abercrombie thought he had a putback dunk, and Lowe's going to get called for yet another foul, and that is going to be his fourth. As you can see, out of bounds. Lowe, not much else to do, and Smith Milner can't believe, mouthing the words, "That's weak." Well, weak or not, they're going to call it.
At this stage of the game, expect, the rules to be stuck to perfectly and really tightly. It's so much at stake. So much at stake for both these teams.
Lucas good on the first free throw.
You feel, though, that it's slipping away from New Zealand now. Double-digit lead, 11 points for Greece, and only 93 seconds to play. It's a big ask for any team to come back into it.
4-possession game, and you said it, with 1:33 to go. At this point, Corey Webster's just going to need to start chucking. Someone needs to start chucking. Tie up and in. They're going to give that to him. Giannis makes the wise decision, it seems.
And now they're going to apply a little bit of pressure, not too much though, because they don't want to get just turned over.
Kalathis to Giannis. Giannis has Lowe on him.
I have a feeling this might be Rob Lowe's fifth foul coming.
Picks it over. Kalathis gets it back to Giannis. One more time to his brother Thanasis. Misses the shot. 1 minute remaining. Lowe thinks about it, gets by Antetokounmpo, loses a handle and a tough turnover there, and they're hard pressed now. Kalathis.
If Greece manage the ball well now and the time well.
Giannis gonna get fouled, and Rob Lowe is out of the game. A disappointing finish for him, but man, did he battle.
He's put it all out there. He's been an absolute warrior for New Zealand tonight. Not his usual offensive display you'd expect. He fouls out with only 5 points, but he's got 6 boards, 3 assists, and he's put a fair shift in 27 minutes, usually against that man there, Antetokounmpo, which is a bit of a challenge for anyone to keep up with him for 27 minutes.
Rob Lowe has got one of those kind of nights. He's had one of those kind of nights where you're not going to see it on the stat sheet, but I guarantee you, if he didn't already have immense amount of respect from his teammates, he's going to have even more from not only his teammates, but for the fans that are in attendance tonight and the fans watching home back in New Zealand. I mean, how could you not? The effort this whole team has put together. Not a single NBA player on the roster going tit for tat with a team that's had an immense amount of experience in both EuroLeague and in the NBA.
But what this tells me about the New Zealand system, and obviously an awful lot of them play for New Zealand Breakers in the Australian NBL, it just tells you how strong that league is now. It's been so quick, the revolution in Australian basketball, and how they've developed one of the top leagues in the world. And the proof is in the pudding. You look at the players that they're producing now, you look at the New Zealand national team on the floor, and that's a product of that structure.
MVP's chance are still ringing out here as Giannis a little bit strong on the first. I think some of our media friends from Greece here can breathe a bit of a sigh of relief.
Yeah, they've been a little bit tense all day, so if they can close this result out like it looks like they're going to, then yeah, there might be some happy Greeks around Nanjing later today.
11-point lead, and they're going to have a New Zealand timeout here. And we'll see what they can try and draw up for the final seconds of this game.
On a make, all right? On a miss, look for traps over half, and then we go to shark mode. All right, let's go runway here. Whoever Giannis is guarding, ball's here. You're there. Right there. All right, so if it's Tuhi, you're over there. Tommy, you're our 5. All right, Corey here. Let's go show and tie here. All right, bang, split. Downhill, on this catch here, look for this punch, continue to get downhill at the rim, otherwise we got shot there. All right, 65 on the make, 55 on the make, yeah? All right, fellas.
And Kalathis really has been key to Greece this evening. Again, not huge numbers, 14 points, 4 boards, 5 assists, 26 minutes of play, but he really does control the rhythm for Greece, and you know, time management in points like this of the game have been really crucial for what Greece have done here today. They've slowed it down when they've needed to, they've sped the game up when they needed to, and that's put them in a position of now up by 11 with 46.4 to go.
Take a look on the inbound here. Illy gets it over to Webster. Up and under, just can't get the finish. Goes off a leg though, and Illy comes back with it, still fighting with it, and they're going to call the foul on. Still waiting to see who it is.
I think it might be on Lawrence Zakis.
Yes. Just his first personal, however.
Yeah, he's only played 9 minutes in this game. He's one of those players that just comes in and provides some hustle off the bench for Greece.
It's Coach Pollinari. He's saying, yeah, 5. It was number 5, right? Eight points for Illy. He's been perfect from the line so far. 39.2 seconds. I mean, it's improbable, but it's not impossible. Oh, huge board there by Thanasis. Oh, Webster comes up with it, and they're going to call a foul.
Yeah, Thanasis, Antetokounmpo is frustrated by that call, but I think it's more the frustration play where he's lost possession and gone to fight back for it over the top, and that's going to be 2 shots from the line again, a chance to score some points without the clock moving. Oh, that looks like a tough call. Not a huge amount of contact, although he did jump into him.
He was just saying there was plenty of contact on the left arm, but it was the non-shooting hand.
Yeah.
All right, and you know, this is exactly what you want though. Buckets without moving the clock.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for more right now. This is the lifeline that New Zealand want.
Of course, Thanasis now has 4 personal fouls. Joseph makes good. Give him 27 on the night. 28, excuse me. Kick out Lorenzakis. And a necessary foul there by Webster. 29.1 seconds. And we're having a conversation now.
Well, it looks like there's a little bit of argy-bargy between Illy and Kalathis. I think Slukas was involved as well. It's not what you need to see at this point of the game. It's all been perfectly controlled. Coach Hanare needs to be really careful.
Yeah, Hanare came all the way to the end there.
Yeah, he needs to be really careful. He's going to get himself a technical foul, but he had a point to make with the officials. He's obviously seen something he's not happy with at all. I think he was saying it's something that Lawrence Zakis did. He was saying number 5, number 5. I wonder if the officials will go to review on this.
You could see, though, there had already been a little bit of, not necessarily shoving, but some physical play in the other end with Lawrence Zakas picking up that foul in the previous set. And Coach Skortopoulos wanted a tech on Coach Henare for leaving his post, so to speak.
Yeah, you couldn't imagine that Coach Henare would do that unless he really had something that he'd seen that he wouldn't let the officials let lie. So,
you know, in a game like this, with so much at stake, yeah, as you said, Henare is not the type of coach that is going to do something like that. A very calculated, very calm demeanor. For the most part. There are times, don't get me wrong, like any other coach, he'll get animated, but it's really not his MO.
Yeah, I think they are going to review this as well. So one of the new inventions for this World Cup is the referee review. You guys get to listen into them, so enjoy.
Okay. There's nothing here. Okay, you said 9? Okay.
White, 10, black, 5, black 9, okay?
There comes the 9. He's separate. Yeah.
The reds come inside, guys. Okay, now. Black 10. Black 5, white 10, and head coach. Head coach should be out. Head coach should be out.
The coach?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's talk in the middle. Okay. The coach can inside.
So it looks like at the moment the officials are just finalising their reviews, but from what we heard, you may have heard it different. They're potentially looking at ejecting Coach Henare for New Zealand for entering the floor. Not too sure what the scuffle was really about. Even the video replay didn't clarify it hugely. We'll have to wait to see what the officials say. The fate of that man hangs in the balance.
I got a technical foul on black 5. I got a technical foul for the coach on black.
Looks like Coach Henare is claiming that Lawrence Zakas actually punched Corey Webster in the back of the head, but we couldn't see it from the video replays.
As you can see, Coach Skortopoulos was pleading his case. But there's Coach Henare saying he hit him, but
even with all the video reviews in the world, sometimes still tough to decipher exactly what happened.
Cooler heads prevailing here, but Coach Henare has not been asked to leave yet. So
no, I think it's just a straight technical. I don't think it's a second technical, so he's fine. But I think it was 2 technicals for New Zealand, so I think it might be 4 free throws for Greece. Oh, and Sluka's picked one up as well.
And he's been sat.
Oh, now they're queuing just 1 technical. The Sluka's technical cancelled out, one of the New Zealand ones. So now Lawrence Zakas will just have his 2 free throws.
Just a few more brief words before we get back to the action. Of course, always be sure to check out and download the FIBA World Cup app so you can see both action like this and maybe relive the highlights yourself after a very exciting game in first round here in Nanjing, China, that's always, of course, available on Apple iTunes Store and also available on Google Play. As Laurenzakis makes good on the first free throw, making it an 11-point game with 29.1 seconds left. 12 points, and New Zealand's just going to go off and running. And Illy comes up with it. Webster for three. What a shot! Corey Webster!
He will not lie down. He will not give up. Corey Webster's going to take this one as far as he possibly can.
They got a foul. Oh, they got a foul. There we go. They almost came away with one there when Papa Nicolau threw it up in the air, and you know you'd hoped if you're a Tall Blacks fan, one of the players from New Zealand would have noticed. But I think they were expecting a whistle and it never came.
Yeah, it's tough, and Laurenzakis back at the line, and he's just gone 3 from 3, so not the player you want to keep sending back. New Zealand fans can thank me later. I'm available to jinx anyone.
All right, here we go. It goes again. Not going to pick it up. Nice find there. Webster kicks it over. Corey shoots it. Misses it that time. Goes out of bounds. Illy kicks it over. Abercrombie for three. Knocks it down again. Tom Abercrombie. This team does not want to die. Foul him. There it is. Oh my goodness, Mark.
Yeah, New Zealand will not give up. They absolutely will not give up. 5.1 seconds to play. They're still down by 6. It would be Herculean if they came back into this one.
2-possession game. I mean, how many timeouts do they got left?
Oh,
they got 3.
It's likely to be a 3-possession game, though, in a minute. That's tough. That's tough to come back from that. I think these free throws might be the final nails in the coffin of New Zealand at the World Cup this year.
Yeah, no jinx this time.
And the first time in 5 outings at the World Cup that they're not going to make it through the first group stage.
Here's Webster. He's going to just drive straight into the basket with 0.8 seconds to go. And much to the cheering and love and adoration shown by these fans, what a game that was to watch, Mark.
Oh, absolutely wonderful. Entertaining from the opening tip to the final buzzer. A physical encounter with plenty of respect. Great World Cup basketball. And every single one of the 24 players that have played today can hold their heads up high. They've put in a shift, and they've certainly put on a show for the fans here in Nanjing. And it was 40 minutes of pure action for us, and so many highlight plays throughout it.
I mean, I think, you know, walking away from this situation, New Zealand, they have to be holding their heads high. What an effort. I'm sure it was a bit disappointing considering the success that they've had in the recent past, as we get a look at the Greek fans, or excuse me, the Greek players saluting the Greek fans in attendance, as can be also said for the Tall Blacks, the Kiwis, showing a lot of love to the fans standing out in the back corner there with their huge New Zealand flag and their huge signs that says New Zealand is cool. And
yeah, I think we'd all agree with that.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that as we take a look at the stats here. Mark, some thoughts, some closing thoughts on this game. I mean,
well, it kind of went to the way a lot of people expected. It went to the form book. Most people were predicting Greece to take the win, but we were also predicting that it was going to be a close physical encounter, and that's exactly what they delivered us. So there's no complaints from anyone here whatsoever. Corey Webster, 31 points for New Zealand. He has had a phenomenal World Cup, and he has increased his value on the open market considerably. Great play from him today. And then on the Greek side, it was the awakening of Giannis Antetokounmpo. His first big game, the first game where he truly showed everything he has to offer the sport. 24 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists in 30 minutes of action. But for him, I imagine he's just happy that they're through to the second round. Greece will now make their way to Shenzhen, where they'll face the USA and the Czech Republic in the second round. And then for Montenegro, they'll go into for New Zealand, they'll go into the classification games, and they'll move down to Dongguan, where they'll face Japan and Turkey. Now remember, for New Zealand and Montenegro, it's not over now. They've still got a chance of making it to Tokyo 2020, so there's still a big prize available for them as well.
Absolutely, and I have to say, just for the sake of all these fans in Nanjing that have been coming here for a full hour before the games, and I mean thousands of them. The entire lower bowl was full of fans each game that Greece had been playing, and really, it really just feels like a true reward for their passion and their patience and their love of this game, and also for Giannis Antetokounmpo, an opportunity to see him in their city. They don't know when he's ever going to come back.
Oh, absolutely, if ever. And the great thing you've got is I don't think there's any players that would have a word against Nanjing now. I think they've come and experienced a wonderful city with wonderful people who have enriched this first round group stage. They have been so positive and so behind all four of the teams as well.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I've never seen a crowd that's just so supportive of good basketball. When any good play that they saw, anything that they had created, it was incredible. As you can see, Giannis, for maybe the first time I've seen him all opening round acknowledging the fans, and that's no shot at him. It's really just, you can see how focused he's been this entire tournament to try and get Greece to the next round. But now that you've seen him get that sigh of relief in a sense, you can finally see him appreciate all the love and adoration that he's been getting this whole week.
Absolutely. I think they'll be grateful that they've got through this group. I think it was a lot tougher than they expected it to be.
Yep.
They found their opening game against Montenegro reasonably easy. They seemed to close that one by the half. Then they obviously lost the shot game in game day 2 against Brazil, and then they've been run ragged and pushed to the wire today against New Zealand. They'll be very grateful to be through to the second round, and for New Zealand, all eyes for them goes on the Olympics now. That's the big prize for them.
An incredible day of basketball, an incredible week of basketball here in the opening round. So impressive, all the work we've seen, and those are your final standings for Group F. Brazil and Greece move on, 6 points and 5 points apiece. New Zealand and Montenegro still fighting for that berth to Tokyo 2020. And for all of our production staff here, and for my partner as well, Mark Mills, my name's Ryan Greco, as we take a final look. Thank you.